Ira, good morning. So glad you're here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. For some reason, I'm not able to see the number of people who are live, but I can see the names that are showing up. I don't know what's going on with that, but it's all right. This morning, I have my sister, my friend, my coach, who is just gonna share wisdom. Ha 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 ha. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? So allow me welcome our guests for this morning. Emmanuella Umachi, also known as the Thought Doctor. The what? The Thought Doctor. She's a licensed practitioner of neuro-linguistic programming. That is the practice of improving how you think and what you say. She's a transformational life coach, she's a speaker, a trainer, a people developer, an encourager, a lover, passionate about intentional thinking, passionate about intentional living. She resigned her flourishing banking career to pursue a mission to raise intentional thinkers. For a man or a woman becomes what he thinks of the most. So she helps us pattern what to think so we become our thoughts. Ella, as she's fondly called, provides individuals and business owners timeless principles to master their thoughts and transform their lives and businesses. She is the go-to coach before you start a business, before you go back to that business, that track, that enterprise, that decision. Ella is that coach to speak with because she will help you clarify your what? Your thought. She has helped several business visionaries stay on and attain their visions. She also helps them focus inward for the success of their businesses. Ella facilitates trainings on thought mastery for profit and non-profit groups. She's the coach you want to work with in 2023. She speaks at different parent forums, teenage groups, and schools. She also partners with fertility experts to provide holistic support for intending parents. I've not heard of anybody else who really does this. So if you know anybody in that space, Ella is your coach. She's a wife to her darling husband and mother to her beautiful children. Are we ready to receive Ella?
Woohoo!
Sissy, I'm so glad.
Woohoo!
Woo-hoo. A rousing, wildsome welcome to Coach Ella. Oh, yes, raising intentional thinker. Yeah, 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 yeah. So everybody say welcome to Coach Ella this morning. We are ready. So Ella, just to let you know, to mention that it takes almost 20 seconds, I think, from maybe almost 30 seconds between when you speak and when you see responses from the chat. There's that lag. That's
Yeah.
internet lag. It's unlike I think some other platforms when you're speaking, the responses are in the moment, but with
Okay.
StreamYard that we use, it could take a few seconds. So when you ask them to put something in the chat and you're not seeing any response, just
I should be coming down.
coming down. Ella, you are welcome. I'm seeing all the
Thank you.
responses saying you're welcome, you're welcome. So let me wear my seatbelt and get my water.
Yep, I have mine too. I hope every other person does.
Cheers.
Okay.
My notes right here.
Yes.
Ella, over to you. I love you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Wiser Nation. Oh, it's such an honor to be here this morning. If you see my face, you know that me. I am very excited to be here. Very, very, very happy. Every person who has made the sacrifice, this is day 13, and you have showed up, you have showed up every morning, or you have watched the replay and all of that. This shout is for you. Yay! You are making one of the best, investments. You remember what that the Geo said. Yes, you're making one of your spending rightly, and when you make when you spend rightly, when you invest rightly, it's there's no other way you would get exactly what it is that you have invested. So I am super proud of you. Well done, well done, well done for the commitment. Every day I see, I see everybody that joins, I see the participation. Well done, well done, well done. And I am happy to be the wiser head for this morning. Yay! Okay, I'm super, super glad. So welcome. So I hope you have your pen, your paper. If you haven't learned anything, I hope you have your bottle of water so that you can sip as we go along in our conversation. Welcome, 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 welcome. Okay, so we're looking at day 13 and we're looking at Proverbs 13. Today we're using the Amplified version, not the Amplified Classic, but Amplified version. You see, for me, when I every time I read the book of Proverbs, every time that I've had to read it, this is what I see. I see a poetry that gives me two options, that shows me two paths, that shows me cause and effect, that shows me attitudes, characters. It shows me what to do. It just puts everything in picture and it leaves me to make my choice. So, and that's how I feel every time. Like, wow, it gives me this, gives me that, and says, Ella, it's up to you. You know what you would get if you go with part A. You know what you would get if you go with part B. Then it leaves it up to me to make a decision. That's how I feel every time. And it's so amazing, and it makes me feel very loved. That I had the privilege of being shown two options and letting me take the decision. So nothing is imposed. It's like, if you want to achieve this, this is it. If you want to achieve this, this is it. It's up to you. That's how I feel every single time that I am reading the book of Proverbs. So if you look at verse 1 of Proverbs 13, it does the same thing, what I have just said, where it gives us two informations and it leaves it to us, right? That one thing is that wisdom will not enforce anything. Wisdom never enforces. He gives you the information and he lets you make the choice. Wisdom will not enforce. He doesn't pressure, he doesn't put pressures. No, he gives you the information and he lets you take the decision. So it gives us two information here. It says, a wise son heeds and accepts. Okay, I can't see. Let's see. Let me move this a little. Okay. A wise son heeds and accepts and is the product of his father's discipline and instruction. But his scoffer does not listen to reprimand and does not learn from his errors. So two characters. Remember the background. I said every time wisdom would give you options. It will present you with the cause and the effect. It will present to you the path, and it will show you the consequences. It will show you the outcomes, and it will leave it to you to make a choice. So he says that the wise son heeds, the wise son pays attention, the wise son accepts. The wise son, that's what he does. That's who the wise son is, right? Then the scoffer, from his name, he mocks. He mocks what you are saying. He mocks what is being said. That's who he is. That's who he is. So, what is it that you want? Which part do you want to play? Which part? Sorry, I have a child who is trying to distract me. Thank you. Sorry, when you're a mother, your children can do anything and it's okay. But it's okay. Okay, so the wise son heeds, he pays attention. So who are we? We're here, right? We're paying attention. We are seeking knowledge. We are listening to the instruction. We have heard, I'm sure in the course of these 13 days, you've heard something that felt like a hard knock. Or if you had a mother like mine who would give you back slap, when you are out of order, I'm sure you've heard something that was as though you received a back slap from a parent or for somebody that was, that is in a place of authority, and is like putting you back to that. Say, no, 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 Ella, you can't talk that way. Ella, no, 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 you have to walk up, walk up. No, you're not going to give that excuse. You're going to go up. So this is it. And what now happens is that at the end of a time, you produce a certain result. It tells us that wisdom is a product of his father's discipline and instruction. So at the end, having spent this time, at the end of 2023, or at the end of January, at the end of February, you're looking at what it is that you have produced, or someone is sitting down and the person is looking at what it is that you have produced, and the person is like, wow, how is she doing all of that? And they will understand that it's as a result of the instructions, the discipline, the knowledge that you have interacted with, that you have taken, and that you have absorbed, you have applied, right? Because the wise son he's not as if he pays attention and walks away. No, he pays attention. He picks what it is that is important, what it is that is relevant to him, and he now applies it. And that's why he can produce. The one thing I want you to know is that every time you receive counsel, every time there is an instruction, every time there is discipline, what determines if you receive it or don't receive it is your state. It's what's going on with you. It really has nothing to do with the person giving the instruction, right? Just like this morning, how you would receive, or so far in these 13 days, how you would have received everything that we have been, all the conversation is dependent on you, not really on who the wiser head is or the proverbs in question. No, it's all on you. So if you know that, it helps. So it doesn't matter who it's coming from. It can be someone so imagine if you are at a place when you are feeling not very good about yourself, you have entertained thoughts that are disempowering. Even when someone, you have entertained these thoughts that are disempowering about yourself, about the message, or about the person speaking, what you would find is that no matter how nice the person puts it, you will still get offended. Because it has really nothing to do with the person speaking. It's about you. So sometimes if you're also a person who your ego is at 100%, as in 200, you find out that somebody could be giving you wise counsel, could be saying something so helpful, but your ego will not let you say it. It will not let you. So you will leave what is being discussed. It's either you focus on how it was said, or who is she? Who the hell is she? Why does she think that she has the right to have this conversation with me? Really? Really? But we now, wiser nation, we don't do like that. We pay attention, right? We pay attention, we listen, we accept. Yes, if you will now do it, it's something else. Somebody has given you a very sound counsel. You will now sit back and look at your scenario, look at what is available to you. Okay, is this something that I can implement? Fine. If it's something I can put off for now and do it in 1 month, fantastic. But at least you will pay attention and you will listen. So we have done that, so I'm very proud of this group. I'm very proud of this community. We have showed up every day and we have listened. We also see the same thing in verse 2. In verse 2, we are also presented with two characters. in verse 2, we are also presented with two characters. The first character produces. The second character also does produce. And both parties produce from themselves. Right? They both produce from themselves. From them, who they are. That's where they produce from. They both produce from who they are. It says, from the fruit of his mouth, a wise man enjoys good, but the desire of the treacherous is for violence. So two people. The good, out of the abundance of his heart, that is good. He produces good. His word is good. Everything that comes from him is good. But the treacherous, who is known to be dishonest, who is known to, he's known as a dubious person. He's not straightforward. He says one thing, he means another thing. So every time he opens his mouth to speak, what comes out of him is violence. You know, I would always say that the part to check every time is what's going on with your heart. Because that's the seat of it. That's the seat. You see, what you produce with your mouth, if you listen to what you say with your mouth, it tells you where your heart is. It tells you what you are thinking. It tells you what's going on in the inside of you. Every time you pay attention, if you want to know. So as a people in 2023, we will pay attention to what's going on with us and what's going on with others. How would you do that? Just listen. If you listen to what you are producing, to what you are saying, you will know where you are. You know, you will know where am I at this time? What's going on with me? I remember that, it was last year, right? I have this friend who every time we speak, her energy is something else. She is so optimistic. She believes her business is the best business. You know, she believes so much in her business. And we were conversing. The next thing I started hearing is, Nigeria is this, businesses in Nigeria. And I was listening. I was like, really? Okay. So I left the conversation, a couple of days later, I reached out to her. I said, who have you been listening to? What's going on? And she was like, what are you talking about, Ella? I said, I heard in our conversation the previous day, all I heard was there's a problem with Nigeria. There's a problem with business. There's a problem. And I'm like, when did you get that from? When did you start talking like this? Whose belief have you borrowed? And when she thought about it, she was like, oh no, I get it. Oh, I was with a friend a couple of days ago, and that was the kind of conversation. And I'm like, and the danger with that is when we borrow and we agree with what we have borrowed, we share in the experience. That's the danger with that. That when you agree, somebody says something and you agree to it, the danger is that you will begin to share in the experience. That's why that is really, really, really dangerous. So yes, someone is speaking, I'm listening, so I know where this person's heart is. I know where this person, what's going on with this person, how this person is relating or interacting or is interpreting what's going on around them. Because most times you find out that two people are in this our economy, in this our Nigeria. Some businesses are thriving. Some businesses, some people, this is their best time. They've not had it good like this. While some people are also struggling. It's just like in a line of business. In a line, you go to Lagos, if you're familiar with Lagos, you have 1 million, or maybe not 1 million, no, 1 million. You have a line. Some people selling the same thing. You find out that sometimes a particular shop, people are always trooping, and another shop. And if you are careful, if you go in there and check the attitude, check the person that owns the shop or the people in the shop, you can easily see why their output is different. You would easily see the energy there, how they feel, how they respond to their customers, everything, the words that come out of their mouth, all of it, you will see. You will see it. Right? So that's why that is very important, that as a people, as we look, as we speak, as we listen, we will pay attention. You would always know. Okay. So can I see the chat? Can I see you in the chat room? Can I see? You know that slogan now, MS. Can I see the MS? If it's making sense, let me hear you. Okay, so we go to verse 3. We go to verse 3. Good. Okay. The one who guards his mouth, thinking before he speaks, protects his life. The one who opens his lips wide and chatters without thinking comes to ruin. Imagine your estate. If your estate is guarded, there's somebody there. Not everybody comes and goes, right? Not everybody comes and goes. You are asked questions. Where are you going to? And where are you going to? Who are you going to see? Can you call? Can you call? Because you are guarding it. It's not open to everybody, right? There's a way I like to this particular verse. I like to apply it in every area. I say you guard when it comes to your mouth. You are guarding everything. If you want life, you are guarding what you are eating. You are guarding what you are drinking. You are guarding what is coming out of your mouth. It's not open. It's not free fall. It's not, no, you don't say everything. You don't just talk carelessly. You don't talk without pausing. You know how sometimes I've had that somebody will say, oh, I'm upset, but I'm not speaking. And I have said that, yes, the way I was raised, you don't just speak. You don't speak like that. You don't just open your mouth and run it, right? You think about what you are trying to say because there's a focus. There is an issue. And I want to remain with the issue. I don't want to speak in such a way that we will leave what is being the crux of the matter, and what is being discussed is what you said and what you did not say. Let me share an experience with you. While in banking, I was managing the priority banking portfolio. And we were doing this reward scheme. If you run your account in a certain way, you get loyalty points and you can redeem it. So there was this customer, the man's account was on fire, money. So his point, we had to be redeeming his point like almost every month. And every time we call him, we tell him how many points he has, and we will tell him the items he can redeem, right? We'll tell him the items you can redeem. So we've done fridge, sometimes we've done flat screen, sometimes he tells us the size of the shirt he wants and all of that. And someone delivers it to him. So this time, we redeemed, I think it was a flat screen, and we took it to his house. And the person we met was his wife. And this woman now, she engaged us and she was talking. And from nowhere, I just said, oh no, the size that this TV, oh no, it's smaller than the other one. Her reaction immediately told me that TV did not get to the house. I was like, oh my God, what did I just do? Come and see me. I was trying to, take back what I said. I came up with story. Oh no, it's not this Mr. This is another Mr. That. Woohoo! But I had already spilled it. So what did I do? When I got back to the office, I had a senior colleague who is a relative of theirs. I had to go explain myself, and that person had to do damage control for me. Really. That was not in my place. I was not lying, but it wasn't in my place. My mouth at that instant was not guarded. I opened it. I was carried away in the conversation, and I opened it carelessly. Right? So sometimes guarding is not necessarily about saying what is right or wrong. It's about being tactful. It's about, is that the right thing to say now? You know, is that the right thing? I remember somebody giving me a compliment while I was at a season in my life and said to me, Ella, you have flat tummy. Fantastic compliment, fantastic. But at that season of my life, that compliment was not appropriate. That person was not tactful. I wanted my stomach to be protruded. I wanted to be a mommy. I wanted to be pregnant. And you're telling me about flat tummy. Come on. Who at that point, who flat tummy helped? It wasn't helping me at all. So I remember that I said to the person, when you got it, you flaunt it. But when I left that scene, I went to cry. I was like, God, did you hear her? Did you hear what she said? My flat tummy. God, I don't want flat tummy right now. I want my tummy to grow. I want everybody. I want to be a mommy. So that person's compliment was good. It was beautiful. But the timing was not. And it's somebody that knows me, somebody that knew the season that I was in. That compliment was not. So when we guard, we are careful. You know, so sometimes somebody would ask you, you know, having gone through, having interacted with this wisdom, somebody will say, oh, why are you careful when you talk? You say, no, I understand. I understand that my mouth should be guarded, right? I don't speak carelessly. You know, even when I'm upset, I choose my words. I don't tear people down and all of that because I understand the importance of guarding my mouth. Okay, so let's go to verse 4. Let's go to verse 4. If you have your water, you can take a sip. It's allowed. So the appetite of the lazy person craves and gets nothing. For lethargy overcomes ambition. But the soul, the appetite of the diligent, who works willingly, is rich and abundantly supplied. If you look at the choice of words, the appetite, the soul, the appetite. You want this, you want this, you want that, you want this, you want that, you want this, you want that. Okay? So what are we doing now? So I remember JD saying that hard work is okay. It's okay to be hardworking. You know, yes, it's okay to be hardworking because we understand it. You know, they say, oh, Ella, why are you like this? I understand it. Hard work in anything, you know, whatever it is that I find my hands to do, I show up. You know, I show up like no other. There's no, what is it? What is it that you're doing? You might not like the job, but how do you show up? Right? You know, sometimes we also forget that from that point that you do not like, you can get moved to the place that you like based on how you deliver on this job. I remember I had the driver, Tokwe, fantastic guy, clean. If you see, I could take Tokwe on a marketing call when I'm by myself just because I needed company. Why? Looking at Tokwe, you cannot guess that Tokwe is a driver. It's not possible. I remember sending Tokwe to an office and the lady told me, oh, I need a driver. And I said, employ my guy now. She said, who is your guy? I said, the guy I sent to you. She said, no, that guy cannot be a driver. He was on point. See his shirt, well ironed, trouser, clean, shoe, polished, hair combed, everything on point. And she was like, fantastic. I need him for my director. So he moved from where he was, when I told him, and he was like, madam, I said, go. It's growth, it's promotion, go. He wanted to go to school. I said, go. That gives you more time to study. Why? Why? Because Tokwe applied himself. He didn't say, after all, I'm just a driver. And he appears shabbily, you know, hair no comb, shirt rough, all of that. No. Tokwe was that guy that would follow you into whatever office and he would represent. You are comfortable with him. Right? So as a people in the new year, the way we show up at our places of work, you know how sometimes, yes, where you're starting is not exactly where you want, but the way you show up there makes the difference. I've seen people move from front desk to other roles in an organization because as a front desk officer, they were present, they applied themselves. As a customer service officer, they applied themselves. They were kind to customers, they were courteous, they spoke nicely. And somebody would tell them, you know what? No, 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 you can't be doing this. Come and work with me. Right? So as a people, as we prepare, we're interacting with this knowledge, we're equipping ourselves so that when we begin to produce, when we begin to act, everybody will just be like, wisdom, it doesn't hide itself. Right? It doesn't hide itself at all. It is obvious. You must see it. And you know, the thing about this is the habitual. It's not as if this person is lazy for a bit. It's habitual. That's how the person is. It's perpetual. That's the person shows up that way every time. And you know, you say, no, that's not how. No, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. The way you handle this job. If you go to the next job that you are dreaming of, this same attitude, this same character, this same way, you will bring it to that next one because it's a thing that is going on inside. Yeah, it's a thing that is going on in your head. It's a thought thing. The only thing is that you are acting it out without knowing that it's a thought thing. Okay, so let's go to verse 5. Verse 5. A righteous man hates lies, but a wicked man is loathsome, and he acts shamefully. A righteous man. Can I hear wiser people? Wiser people, can you make some noise? For some reason, I can't see the comments. You know, I can't see that, but you know, fantastic. You know, so can I hear some noise there? Yay! Yes. A righteous man, and for everybody that is here, we are part of this group, right? A righteous man hates lies, but a wicked man is loathsome, troublesome. And every time he will just show, you know, have you seen somebody who they will just show themselves everywhere, even without being conscious of it? They just show, they would always act in a way that you'd be like, come on, are you all right? Right? But we don't act that way. We don't act that way. Verse 6. Righteousness, being right, standing with God, that's the one whose way is blameless, but wickedness undermines and overthrows the sinner. Remember what we said at the beginning. We said that the beautiful thing about this book is that it presents us with options. It presents us with characteristics. It presents us with behaviors. It shows us two things, and it leaves us to make a decision on how we want to do it. So verse 6 gives us the same picture. It says righteousness, being right. And it says what would happen to that person. The person's part is blameless. But what did he say? Wickedness undermines, overthrows. I don't know which translation says wickedness pursues. Imagine you're walking on the road, or imagine somebody is chasing you, and what is behind you is wickedness. Can you imagine that kind of thing? Where will you run to? And this one, you can't even shush it away because you are the one. It's what you are producing from who you are. Can you imagine that you're walking, you're walking, and you look behind you? What you're seeing is trouble left, right, and center. But you know, as wiser nation, woohoo! You know, we don't have that. Fantastic. Yes, I can see the chat room now and I can see the conversations. Yes. Yes, everything affects everything else. Yes, how you do one thing, because it flows from the inside. Yes, Allah be Israel. Thank you. You are listening. Yes. Yes, you are listening. So we'll go to verse 7. You know, this thing about packaging, you know, that's also one thing that I kept laughing. When I was reading, every time I have read this verse, I said to myself, this thing did not start today. So nothing can bamboozle me. Nothing. Bring it on. We have interacted with wisdom. Nothing. You cannot bamboozle us. He says there is one who pretends to be rich, has nothing, yet has nothing at all. Another pretends to be poor, yet has wealth. So packaging didn't start today. It's not something that just started today. It's a conversation that we have now, but it didn't start today. We can see it here in the book of wisdom. So we know that that's the way we can be. Some people can try to be calm, put themselves together. No, you don't even know who they are. You don't know, and as wise people, that's also knowing this guards our behavior, because you could be standing in the presence of a potential employer, a potential investor, but because the person doesn't look like it, doesn't mean that the person is not it. Do you get? Packaging no be today. See it here now. It's not today. Or somebody to who so you leave the person. After all, it's not the first person. He's not even going to be the last. After he has finished his own, another set, somebody else will do the same. So packaging is not new. So we are not moved by that. Instead, it guides how we behave. We know that you can't just write people off. You can't just look at someone and make conclusions. No, that's not wisdom. That's not wisdom. Wisdom is, regardless, you will listen, you would respect every person, because you have interacted with wisdom now, and wisdom has said that sometimes things don't look as they seem. Don't be carried away. Listen to what is coming from the person's mouth. What research shows us is that somebody cannot pretend for more than 3 months. Nope. If you are aware, if you are conscious, you are present, the person cannot pretend for more than 3 months without you. You will hear it. Something would give. But the problem is that because we are not present, we are carried away with all the things going on. So we are not present. We don't know. But if you are conscious, you know that, this is human nature. Some will have it and pretend not to. Some will not have it, but they will pretend to. It's human. We've read it. Wisdom has given us that information that that's how we are. It puts you are conscious. So when you are relating, we're not carried away. You notice this one, you will smile, you say, it's all right, we get it. You notice this one, you say, oh, wow, I get it. But you can't bamboozle me. I am present. Let's go to verse 7. Verse 8. Verse 8. This verse also made me laugh. I said this ransom thing did not start today. Paying ransom did not start today. It did not start today. See it here. It says the ransom for a man's life is his wealth, but the poor man does not even have to listen to a rebuke or threat from the envious. Wait till you envy for a poor man. What is there to be envious of? Nothing, right? But ransom, if they kidnap you today, you will bring out that money. Who will come and you see a woman that sells you see a woman that sells pepper on the road. Are you going to go and ask her for ransom? From where? How much will she give you? But you see somebody else driving cars. So this ransom thing did not start today, right? It did not start today. It might not end today. If it is not money, you can pay the ransom in different ways, but it didn't start today. So when we hear the stories, we're not overwhelmed. That's the thing I like with interacting with wisdom, is that it prepares you to the point where things don't shake you like that. Right? Things don't shake you like that. You don't hear anything and you're, no, it's not today. These things have happened. They will keep happening. Verse 9. JD says 3 months is too much. That's it. If you pay attention, 3 months is too much. But if you do not pay, if you are carried away by the activity, everything you are seeing, that's it. But if you pay attention, in 3 months you will find out. That's maximum. From the 4th month, the person will begin to give. Stories will not jive. You will pick this story, jam it, you say, no, this one, nah, this is not correct. Yeah, let me see. I'm trying to see. Yeah, don't be carried away. Somebody cannot. Yes, I get that. Yes, wisdom is treating everybody right. Fantastic. Eze Philip, fantastic. Yes, so I see that. Yes, we are here. We are present. We are paying attention. That's why we are Wiser Nation. We are paying attention to the instruction, to the correction, to the knowledge. We are paying attention. Fantastic, people. Fantastic. Okay, so verse 9. The light of the righteous within him grows brighter and rejoices, but the lamp of the wicked is temporary light and goes off. Nothing. You already know the outcome, right? We already know the outcome, so we are prepared. We already know the outcome. We know that if we choose the right path, if we choose to stick with doing the right thing, even if you are the only one, the only thing that can happen is that your path will go brighter. You would move. You will keep moving, right? That's the principle. So it doesn't matter if you are the only one. It doesn't matter if you will stand out. If it's just you, if you move up, if you move up, you find out that yes, if you are walking up, you would achieve it. You will finish the project. As long as you keep at that part, you already know what the outcome is. So knowing what the outcome is just encourages you, just becomes your motivation. So even if nobody is cheering, because you know what the outcome, you know that if I keep walking up every day, if I keep walking up the hill, despite how difficult this is where I'm going to get to. I'm going to get to exactly the destination that I want. If I keep writing one chapter every day, at the end of 30 days, I would have written 30 chapters, if that's what you want. If I write one page every day, at the end of it. So because you already know what the outcome is, you can endure the process. You can enjoy it. You can enjoy it. You can laugh at it. You can, at least it makes it easier because you're like, come on, it is what it is. I know what it is, and I will keep at it. So where you see verse 10, where you see contention, where you see strife, where you see it, there's something that is there. And the thing that is there is pride, is insolence, is presumption, where there is strife. So when you get into a place and the place is, you know how sometimes this energy is so strong, you can feel it anytime. You enter a place, you can sense the energy. You know that, in this place, there's so much strife. There's so much pride. That's what is going on here. So even yourself, if you find out that you're always angry, you are edgy, every small thing, check. And no. There's an atom of pride. Yes, there's an atom of pride. That's where it springs from. Right? And it says, but godly, skillful and godly wisdom is with those who welcome well-advised counsel. So how we do, if you don't look at the wise, you will see what they produce. When you look at where you find pride and presumption and insolence, you will see contention. So when you, it's easy. That's the beauty of what we are doing, is that we can read it. We can read. Just check. You will know what it is. In this, what's going on? If you check it, you would find, because it's not hidden. That's it. It's not hidden. You would always see it. Oh no, I had such a good time. Every time, if you see my notes on all the times I have read this chapter, verse 11 also made me laugh. Why did it make me laugh? Because I know what the end is. I am not shaking. If you like, show up with whatever. No, you cannot bamboozle Ella. It's not possible. Dude, what, bring it on. I know what the end is. It says wealth obtained by fraud does what? Dwindles. But he that gathers gradually by honest labor will increase his riches. So it's a template. All we know is that as a people, as long as you keep doing the right thing, is it your business? You started with 20 naira. It's fine. As long as you keep doing it, honest. Yes, so you cannot bamboozle wisers. No, 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 no. We're too good for that. We know we can, we are aware. So we can see, we know it. So somebody comes to today. I remember my friend, the car wash that he goes to. The guy all of a sudden stopped coming. Why? He said, how can he be washing cars for these boys? How? Every day they come, he knows this guy now, he knows this guy, he knows this guy, he knows this guy. Okay, so he left his job, his honest job, he left it to go and do that one. But why will we do things like that? Not possible. We know how that one ends. We know that that wealth we're doing, you wake up one day, you can't find it. But as long as we stay at our work, we stay doing what little. Today you started with 10 naira. Yes, the process might be long. The process might be long. This one is sharp. The process is long. This one is sharp. But when you know the end, it makes the process enjoyable. Though it's hard, though it's, you might not like it. You would have loved it the other way. But you already know that if you jump, you will fall into gutter. So, my dear wiser, my wiser nation, will you jump? No, you won't jump. You will cross. You would turn. You will take the sides. You will go and take the walkway. Why? Because you know if you jump, you will fall. So why would you do that? And verse 12 also talks about, verse 12, hope deferred makes the heart sick. But when desire is fulfilled, it is a tree of life. This also is something that we take with us, that you will give yourself grace. So you will give yourself grace. That certain things you want will not come when you want them. But because you know that this is how you will feel, you will give yourself the grace to feel this way for a time, and you will pick yourself up and you will continue the journey. And it also will give you the ability to offer other people grace. When you see someone who hoped for something and it didn't happen, and the person is sad, you won't dismiss it. You understand that, yes, this is how the person would feel, and it's absolutely okay. Right? The only thing is that you will not dwell in that feeling for too long. You experience it. Yes, I'm sad. I actually hoped for this. This doesn't happen. Well, it's okay. I'll keep at it. Right? Why? Because you already know that this is how the human body, this is how we would react. And when it happens when you want it, and when it happens for someone, when the person wants it, you are not upset, you're not angry, you're not offended, because you know that the person should be happy now. So what will we do? It happened for them at that time, you will be happy. Why? Because they should be happy. People shouldn't be penalized for being happy. Somebody has passed an exam and the person should not rejoice, or something good happened. No. So we will offer ourselves grace, and we would also offer other people grace so that we can move. Okay, verse 13. I'm looking at my time and I'm trying to, speed up things. He says, whoever despises the word and counsel of God brings destruction upon himself. But can you imagine despising what we have just done? Can you imagine what you have gotten from day 1 to day 13 so far? Can you imagine the level of wisdom, the level of decisions, or the decisions you have made, the changes you have made, or the ones that you would make? Can you imagine your life without this information, right? Can you imagine your life without being armed with these things? And you would now see somebody and you're feeling bad. Somebody that you know that this thing, that all this paparazzi, just give the person challenge time like this. Everything is out of it, right? Imagine that you don't have this information. You would destruction. You will be sad, you will be angry, you will flip, you will do all sorts. Why? Because you despised it, you didn't pay attention to it. But we, wiser nation, nope. We pay attention, we would apply, we listen, so we will be rewarded. We will be rewarded by the things we produce, by the peace that we enjoy. The thing, somebody is asking you that, saying, Millicent, why are you like this? Why are you this calm? Why is this person behavior not pushing you at all? You be like, you do not know. I spent my December preparing for all of this. So I'm guarded. I'm guarded. Say my confidence, you can't shake it. I know, I understand it. Yeah. So verse 14. So we will be rewarded as wiser nation by the things that we achieve. The teaching of the wise is a fountain and source of life, so that one may avoid the snares of death. Everything that we have gone through from day 1 to day 13 and to day 31, everything that we have learned to us becomes fountain of life. Why? Because we are guarded, we are informed, we are aware, we are listening, we are paying attention, we are interacting with what we have learned. I remember JD saying that you can set a timer to say every day. For me, I said every day of the month, 1 hour of my day, I would go back to this, because we all have to keep it. We have to keep it close to us. Why? Because we know that it is the fountain and the source of our life. It is what will keep us stable. It's what will keep us sane. When every other person is shaking or going crazy, we are sane. Why? Because we are well informed, we are prepared, we have taken counsel, we have taken correction, we are guarded, as in nothing, no shaking at all, or they see in this, because we are well guarded. Verse 15. Good understanding wins favor from others. Good understanding. Good understanding. You see, you take a subject, you take an area, and you go there. The people the people that, if you look, the people you call thought leaders, people you call coaches, people you call mentors, people you call, why? What have they done? They have gotten a good understanding of a particular area. That's the only difference. They have gotten a grasp of a particular area. If it's a matter of thoughts, this person understands it. So when you are speaking, when you are reacting, she knows where you're coming from. When you're speaking, she knows from what source you are coming from. That's what brings the favor. So as a people, the favor, what do you want? What do you want? Go and get good understanding of it. Go and interact with knowledge in that area. Go and get it. If you go and get good understanding of it, people will favor you. People would reach for you. You will not be the one. That's what it is to be favored. To say, oh, come and do this for me. Come and do that. Come and speak here. Oh, can you handle this? Can you do this? Why? Because you have gotten a good understanding of that area of your interest. JD has gotten a good understanding of mastering ceremonies. She has it in the palms of her hand, right? If you talk about Jo has his own understanding of a particular area, and that's why every time they show up, they get our favor. So it's a template. You want to get favor, you want to be at certain circles, you want to relate with a certain people, then go and get good understanding of a particular area. Of that your area, go and grasp it so that you will get the favor that you want. Verse 16, every prudent and self-disciplined man acts with knowledge, interacts. When I looked at prudent, it talks about someone who is conscious of the future. And all of us here, as a people, we are conscious of the future. That is why we are interacting with knowledge. That's why we are acting. We are in agreement, right? Because we are conscious of our new year. We know the year we want. We know what we want 2023 to be like. That is why we are prudent. We are conscious of it. So we are here spending 1 hour, waking up at 6 a.m., making the sacrifice, interacting with knowledge, getting instruction, being corrected. Why? Because we are conscious of our future. Our future is important to us. We know what we want to experience in 2023. We are conscious of it. And that's why that's why we are disciplined enough to do what we want to do. So the level you want to grow in your career. What are you going to do? Wisdom says interact with knowledge in that area. Be disciplined enough. If you want to grow, interact with knowledge. If you interact with knowledge, you will grow because you are conscious of your future. Right? That's what we do as a people. We know it. So that's what we do. Verse 17. A wicked messenger falls into hardship, but a faithful ambassador brings healing. Verse 18 now says, poverty and shame will come to him who refuses instruction. Poverty and shame will come to him who refuses instruction and discipline. It cannot be us now. Can it be Wiser Nation? No, it cannot be us that verse 18 is describing, right? No, we cannot be us because we know we are interacting with knowledge, we are taking instruction, we are taking discipline, right? We are taking it, so we know what our end is going to be. We will be honored. We will be honored because we are accepting what we are listening to. We are learning. We would apply, right? So we will be honored. That's the end of it. That's what our outcome will be. So when you know the outcome, then it determines the cost, right? When you know the outcome, if you want to be honored, you know that you will not disregard wisdom. You will not disregard instruction, right? You will not know. You will pay attention to it. And that's exactly what it is that we are doing. Okay, verse 19. Desire realized is sweet to the soul, but it is detestable to fools to turn away from evil, which they have planned. Exactly what we had said, exactly what we had said before, that because when you set your heart to do something and you get it, it comes with so much joy, as in you are pumped up, you are happy. That's why when people that do bad, because of that desire that they want, that satisfaction that comes with it, that's why it's difficult. You say, why do you keep doing this? Why? That's the why. So we want to ask why, because we already know the why. So we know that it's because of that satisfaction that comes with achieving that desire. That's why this person is doing this. So as the person is doing, you know what, okay, just achieve, be happy, achieve what you want to achieve. Are you okay now? You're feeling yourself, Abby? What you have said, you have achieved it. So the way this person is feeling, you like it, you're good. Really? Okay, thumbs up. Fine, that's it. Okay, let's move on to something else. One thing that keeps ringing in my head is that Wiser Nation, we are not bamboozled. You can't shake us. We are so guarded. We have interacted with wisdom that when we see certain behaviors in this year or in the year, we will not shake because we know why you are acting that way, right? We know the thoughts that are going on in your head. We know that the only thing that is driving this behavior is because of that adrenaline, that sweet feeling that comes with achieving your desire. That's the only thing. Verse 20 is a fantastic template that we're going to work with in the year 2023. Not even from now. He says, he who works as a companion with wise men will be wise. But the companion of conceited, dull-witted fools are fools themselves and would experience harm. So what else? You know why this is possible is this thing that the company of the people that you keep, they influence the way you think. They would influence it. That's why he says they will be wise. They would influence it. You will borrow their beliefs. You will begin to think and sound like them. And you will begin to share in their experience. Right? So it's something that we are tactical. Say strategic. Yes, we are strategic. Right? I remember that when I was making the switch, when I left banking, I knew that all my friends were banking friends. That's the circle that I had kept for over a decade. And I was living it. It was important to me that I begin to keep a new circle. And it's something that I had to do by myself. I had to do it intentionally to say, this is the company I want to keep. This is the company I want to keep. I want to be in this person's space. I want to be in this person's space. Why? Because I am aware that as long as I am in that space, so they will rub off. They would rub off. I would pick up habits. I will pick up beliefs. Even when my own belief is not working, I will pick up something. So I will put myself there. So our template is we look at the outcome we want, then we choose the circle. Since we know that whichever circle we choose will influence our thinking. And because it influences our thinking, it will influence how we act. And by how we act, we will get a certain outcome. So we will be strategic, right? Everybody likes you, I'm okay, but you will use your head. Strategic. So when we talk company, is you spend time. It's not just that hi, you won't say hi, hello, no, but your time, that you spend enough time that you begin to pick up the language, you begin to pick up the way of thinking, it means that you're spending a long time there, right? I remember I was talking to a client of mine, and the way she was talking about men, I'm like, I don't understand you. You have a good husband. Your brothers are fantastic. What's going on? And I asked, I said, I've been listening to you. And the way I hear you describe men, that's not your experience. Your husband is a fantastic person. Your husband is fantastic. So what's going on? Apparently, there was a radio show that she's always listening to. I know there everybody says men are this, men are that, men are that, men are that, men are that. So when she was talking, she now began to say, I said, come on, what are you saying? Because the danger with that is you take in that and you now begin to act it. So you begin to come up with attitude. Oh, this man, who are you coming to boss? Boss who? Man is not bossing you. He didn't say anything. But you have borrowed some other people's experience and you have taken it and you're coming to give it to somebody that does not have a business with it. He was not in the car when you were listening. You listened by yourself. You have listened to it over and over and over and over, that he has influenced how you think about men. And you will now see the person and you're acting drama. And the person is looking at you like, come on, what's going on here? What did I do? Right? So that's why we will be strategic with our partnership, with our friendship, with the people we keep in our circle, because we know that it is not it. Is it music? Is it books? Is it TV? Whatsoever it is that companionship might not be, not just people. It can be, some people are not people friendly, but they'll spend all their time maybe watching a movie, listening to a kind of music. The point that we all have to remember is that these things affect our thinking. And because they affect our thinking, they would affect how we act. And because it affects how we act, it will affect our results. So when we know that, it helps us to be picky, to be selective, to choose. So the outcome determines what I'm exposing myself, what I am spending, who I am spending my time with, right? Because I know that it's not just, that statement is just, no, it's not, no, it's not just, it has an impact. We have the template here. Companion of wise, you will be wise. Companion of fools, you will be fools. They would influence you, they will influence your thoughts, they will influence your beliefs, and it will show your outcome. It will show up in your outcome. Verse 21, I think we have just 4 verses to go. Oh, so it says, adversity pursues sinners. Can you just picture that? Can you picture it? Adversity. Somebody that hasn't interacted with wisdom. Somebody that doesn't pay attention to correction, that doesn't accept. You're talking, the person knows it all. The person, before you talk one, the person has talked 10. What will happen? The person will make adversity from one trouble to another trouble to another trouble to another trouble to another trouble. Why? Because the little things, the ways you can dodge it. When you see something coming, you already know what this is about, so you can dodge. You just keep quiet, and they're like, why are you keeping quiet? You're like, I know what this is about. So no, I'm not going to engage. No, I'm not going to fight dirty. No, I'm not. No, I'm too clean. I'm too clean to enter the mud. Nope. You're not getting that reaction from me. And you save yourself the tension. You save yourself, the dissipating energy. I was talking, somebody was upset about somebody. I'm like, come on. When you started this conversation, you said, this person is like this. This person doesn't laugh. This person is always frowning. This person is this. And the person now acts, and the behavior agrees with the description. And I'm like, it should make you angry. Instead, you should just say something like, well, what did I expect? What did I expect? Really, right? What did I expect? Because that's who the person is. So, as a people in this community, we know that because we have interacted with wisdom, what follows us is that we produce the results that we want. We are rewarded with prosperity because we do the job little by little. We are consistent. We show up every day. So we know that we would have prosperity. We will be rewarded. It says, a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children, and the wealth of a sinner is stored up for the hands of the righteous. What do we leave? As a people, imagine you having interacted with this wisdom, having spent this time, you have picked something, and that thing that you have learned becomes a part of you. You pass it on. You don't react like that anymore. And your child, even for us as parents, I remember a child. I remember that I was somewhere and I heard a child. The child was cussing. She's playing with other children. And the next thing, stupid girl, idiot, nonsense. I'm like, this child was not up to 5 years old. I'm not exaggerating. She wasn't over 5. And I'm like, what's going on? Why is this girl talking like this? Oh, God. And her mother showed up. From the first thing, stupid girl, come here. Fantastic inheritance. That inheritance is very good. Yes, it's very good. Because the child continues, passes it on to the next generation, and what do they pass? Please, what do they pass? Right? But we, as a people, because we have interacted with this level of wisdom, we know that what we will leave for our children will be good character, will be, we become good role models, where our children, they see how you prepare. They see how you prepare, how you put in your best, how you pay attention, they see the process. And without you even teaching them, they learn. You know, we have 4 groups of influencers where we have to do with children. You see the parents, the teachers, the media, and their friends, the 4 groups of influencers. And we as parents are the ones that do the most of it, right? We do the most of it. So I am happy for all of us who are interacting with this wisdom, because I know that we apply, we will do it, so we will leave good things for our children, right? We will leave good things for our children. When they open their mouth to speak, somebody's like, who is your mother? As in, where are you coming from? Are you from this planet? Or if they see how they think, how they respond to life, how they respond to situation, you know, something is going wrong. What's the reaction? Are you like, backbones? If I scatter your head, if I break it with this thing, come and look at you, stupid girl. And tomorrow they are acting in that way. You're wondering, why is this child like this? Really? You left an inheritance now. You left an inheritance, and they picked it, and they are going to pass it on to their children. But I know that we won't do that. Right. Okay, verse 23. We have 2 more verses and we are out of here. Thank you. I say, yeah. Leslie says, I will be a good role model to my children. Amen. You will. You will be. Abundant food is in the fallow, uncultivated ground of the poor. There is food. There is everything. But because it is uncultivated, they don't listen now. They don't listen. They don't know that, yes. So we have projects unfinished. We have things undone. We have dreams unattained. Why? Because the ground is uncultivated. But as a people, as WISER nation, we cultivate. We take that work. We put in the time. We know that little, if I can just put in 4 hours every day on this, and I stay committed, I will get it. So our ground is cultivated, right? Our ground is cultivated, and we will not be swept. We would get the outcome that we desire. Who will we? He who withholds the rod of discipline hates his son, but he who loves him disciplines and trains him diligently and appropriately with wisdom and love. With wisdom. And that's exactly what we are getting this morning. We are being disciplined, we are being trained. Why? And it's being done from the place of love. I don't know if you hear love in the verses. It's like, no, I don't want you to stress yourself out. I don't want you to be bamboozled. I don't want you to, to react like somebody that doesn't have knowledge. That's why I'm presenting you with all these parts, so that you can choose your outcome, and you can take the path that will lead you to that particular outcome, right? So this I wouldn't apply just to parenting, but that's exactly what we're doing here. We are being when we did wrong, there's some verses you will hear, you will read. It's like David is talking to you, someone is talking to you directly, like, come on, what's that? What kind of behavior is that? How can you do that now? Who is that? Why would you do it? Right? Why would you do that? So, and he's not withholding it. He's not withholding it. He's telling us, he's giving us all the information. He's not keeping away anyone. Why? Because he loves us. He does it from the place of love. So even when we decide to apply it to parenting, it's always about the place of love. The kind of child you want to raise. Hence, there are things you would accept, there are things you will not accept. Why? You know the outcome. You know the outcome. And because of the outcome you want to achieve, you know the paths to take. You know that you would correct. You know that you would correct, you would direct, you will rebuke, you will love. You will correct, you would instruct, you will redirect, you will correct, you would love. And that's it. You would explain your process, you would explain it. But would you not do it? No, you would do it, right? You would do the correction. We have been we've seen the template. We are being corrected. So we will do likewise to our children, to the people on our path. I remember JD saying, don't hold it back. Share it, speak it, say it. The person takes it or not, but at least you've done your own part. You've done the correction. The person takes it or not, but you've done your correction, especially when it comes from the place of love. Love is the principal thing. And when you do it from the place of love, sometimes, every time he wins. Because when the person looks back later, the person will see that, this lady really did love me. Like when we're reading this now, we know that Solomon loves us now. Why is he giving us all this information? Why did he give us this path? Why is he asking us to choose our options? Why is he telling us that these things are possible, that we can actually live our life the way we want it lived? Why? Because we know the outcome and we will take the steps that will take us to the outcome that we desire. The last verse, 25. Okay, the consistently righteous has enough to satisfy his appetite, but the stomach of the wicked is in need of bread. The consistently righteous. Who is this person? Who is this person in this community? Yes, who is this person? Who is this person that is consistently righteous, that is paying attention to wisdom, that is taking instruction, that is being guided? There are certain people you would see and you'll be wondering, how did they achieve these things? And I know that that's what, people will look at us and say, how come this person is operating at this level of efficiency? How come this person is able to control themselves to this point? How come this person is graceful? How come this person is this way? And why? Why? Because you are wiser. You have interacted with wisdom. You have learned. You have seen things for what they are. So it guides your behavior. Your expectation is managed. Why? Because you know. And your appetite is satisfied. Your soul is at peace. You are okay. You are stable. For me, that's it. You are stable. You are, or this, or this, as in you are stable. Why? Because you have been prepared. You have taken the time. You have taken the time to listen. You have taken the time to note, to say, okay, these are the changes that I'm going to make. I'm going to be more graceful. When I'm going to, when I see someone behave like this, I already understand that that's the behavior that is expected. So I'm going to offer the person grace. And even myself, if things don't go my way and I'm feeling bad, yes, I will allow myself feel bad for a while, but I'll pick myself up and I will continue, right? Why? Because I understand these things. I have interacted. Somebody's talking, you're listening, you say, really? Okay. But you already know where the person is coming from. You know that the reaction that you're getting is not necessarily about what you have said. It's about how the person is thinking about what you have said. That's what is guiding this reaction. And it keeps you stable. You're not shouting. You're not upset. I remember a colleague one day in the office then. I corrected her for something. And the next thing, she removed her shoes. And she started shouting in the banking hall. And she was cursing me, Ella. Me. I took a walk. I left that place and I went to my desk. And I sat down and I was doing my work. On top of that, I sent her a query. I sent her a query for the behavior. Really, me, remove shoe with you. Where? Me, that has interacted with wisdom, that understands that it's not about what I said, it's how you're thinking about it. Me, I will not come and sit down and exchange words. Nah, I don't do it. I don't do it. I don't. Well, I went. So everybody was asking, who is she quarreling with? They say it's Madam Ella. Where's Madam Ella? Madam Ella is in her seat. Imagine how she felt when she got back to her desk and she saw a query for her behavior. Do you understand? So, as a people, because we have interacted and we are going to, keep interacting with wisdom for these 31 days and not just end it after these 31 days. We're going to take what we have taken with us. We're going to hang it on our neck. We're going to keep it in places where we would remember. We will go back to our notes. We will go back to our notes. We will read again. From time to time, we will go back when we see that we'll begin to act as people who haven't interacted. We will go back to our notes, we will go back to our notes so that we can be reminded of some of the things that we have picked up, and that would guide our year. And we will be able to choose, we choose the outcomes we want, and we are certain, we are stable, and we will flow. And everybody is wondering, is it in this same Nigeria that you're operating? Yes, so it's still the same Nigeria. At least we haven't jackpot. We're here. So because we are here, or someone, one last thing, or someone is asking, why don't you speak about Nigeria this way? Why don't you speak about Nigeria? Like, why are you saying no? Don't speak about Nigeria. Can you curse a land and you expect the land to be fruitful to you? It's not going to work, right? So this cuts across. It cuts across our personal life. It cuts across our attitude to work, our attitude to our nation. Because we have interacted with wisdom, we will see it will show in our outcomes. It will show in the things that we do. I want to say a big thank you to everybody who has stayed with me for this 1 hour, 24 minutes, 9 seconds. Thank you so much. Thank you for staying.
Thank
Thank you
you
so
for honoring us with your presence, Coach Ella. We are so grateful. It's been an amazing session of notes and, more importantly, of checks. So, whilst you were speaking at some point, I was just thinking about some comments I made recently, and I was asking myself, where did that come from, Joyce? What did you interact with? Not a bad thing, but it was not
Yeah,
the richest of itself.
yeah.
So where did that come from? Where did that
Mm,
come from? Where did that
mm,
come from? And
mm.
I was able to trace it. And I said,
Yeah.
hmm,
Mm.
careful
Yes.
little ears what you hear,
Yeah. Mm.
what you keep about you, and what you're borrowing without knowing.
Knowing. Yes.
Without knowing. So I believe with all my heart that I will be checking so that we don't go too far in before we realize, oh, what
Mm.
happened?
Yes.
Check, check,
Mm.
check, check. I think that was one of my greatest takeaways from today,
Mm.
because you used that kind of example about about three or
Mm.
four times. And I was like, yes, that's true. Check it, check it. If I've interacted with wisdom so much, I would not be found in this conversation because
Yeah.
I'm not that person. I'm
No.
wiser than that.
Yes, you're wiser.
I am wiser.
Yes.
Everyone is saying thank you. We're seeing the heart signs, the fire signs, the thank you so much,
Yeah.
Coach Ella, the thank you, ma'ams. Oh, even my mom is here. She says, thank you so much, ma'am.
Yes, I read it.
Thank you, thank you,
I
thank
read
you,
it.
thank
Thank
you,
you,
Coach Ella.
Matthew.
We love you. Many
Thank you.
Selah moments. Stop and think. Check your interactions. Thank
Mm.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
The
you.
legacy we leave for our
Yeah.
children, biological and all the other children that the Lord has put
Bless
into
us.
our care.
Yeah.
Careful. Thank you
Mm.
so much, Coach Ella. Everyone, this is cheers to doing. I've almost
Yes.
finished the water. Cheers to doing. Cheers to doing what we have heard. Cheers to acting out. Cheers to living out. Cheers to being
Mm.
the wise. Cheers
Yes.
to being the wise, not just attending wiser, but being wiser. Cheers to the best 13th of December you have ever experienced your entire life.
Yes.
Coach Ella, we love you. Wiser Nation, we love you.
Yes.
See you tomorrow
Yes.
whilst we be wiser. Bye,
Yes.
everyone.
Bye, everyone.